Joining us on this special election broadcast from Goa is a very special guest, new entrant to Goa politics, the Trinomial Congress. What are its prospects? Firebrand leader of the Trinomial Congress, senior leader Sushmita Dev speaking to us. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking, taking out time. You have a rally in a short while from now. Let me straight away begin by asking you your assessment on the ground. A lot of people have already written you off to the Trinomial Congress and its prospect. But the fact of the matter is that typical of the Trinomial Congress is that we will fight it.
See, obviously it suits our opponents to write us off, but I can tell you the last 3-4 days we've done huge public meetings, whether it's Naveli, whether it's Kurtolim, right now I'm going to Porvorim, whether it's Bernoli. So I think you cannot discard what you see on the ground. And today if you walk the streets of Goa, I mean go to Saligaon, it's right here, you will see that our candidates are going door to door and they're getting a good response. And I believe that people of Goa realize that Trinamool Congress is here to fight and to stay, and they're a formidable force against the Bharatiya Janata Party. And I think the other parties have a huge trust deficit. They are getting their candidates to sign affidavits. Some parties are getting their candidates to sign pledge, go to the church, go to the temple. That's a sign of insecurity because they're not confident of their candidates. Trinamool Congress has no such issue, and neither does MGP, and that's our strength.
Sushmita, I want to be a little frank and let's do a little walk the talk so that our viewers also get a sense of Goa. And what I want to really ask you, Sushmita, is where does the confidence really stem as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned? The reason why I'm asking you this question is that you don't have a cadre. Every party needs a cadre. You've seen Trinamool Congress today become a formidable force in West Bengal, primarily because it's largely seen as a cadre-based party. What happens in Goa?
Well, we've built our cadre. If you were to do a reality check and go to the ground and follow any of our candidates, you will see that no one is firstly allowed to do door-to-door campaigning beyond 20 people. But some of our candidates, when they finish their campaign and come, there are hundreds of booth workers. See, let's not underestimate the strength of our candidates. They are deeply entrenched in the society of Goa. They have a backing of their own, and they have, given their allegiance to Trinamool Congress. So you got to understand that there is a party and then there are people. In 4.5 months, we are contesting 27 seats and given 13 to our alliance partners. I mean, don't you think that itself speaks of huge credibility on the part of Trinamool Congress? Aam Aadmi Party has been here for at least 5 years. Congress and BJP have been here for decades. We are here for 4.5 months. I mean, if I were to analyze it, objectively, we've done a tremendous job. I don't know any other party which can go to a state and in 4.5 months put up candidates with the cadre.
They also say that your alliance with the MGP, which has been in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party, appears to be a little shaky. Is that true?
Not at all. MGP leaders have been campaigning for us. The manifesto was made together. Each time one of our schemes were launched, like Griha Lakshmi, like Yuva Shakti, and giving land to the landless people pre-1976. MGP was part of all those programs. And these things are speculative on the part of our opponents because they're trying to build a narrative against us. MGP is fighting hard, and you will see that they are fighting hard in the BJP bastions. और हिंदी में एक कहावत है, लोहा लोहे को काटता है, वही होगा.
So let me then ask you this question about Home Minister Amit Shahs during his rally essentially said that why should outsiders come in? Why should Delhi or Kolkata क्यों राज करेगी? Referring to, trying to take a dig at the Trinamool Congress because during the West Bengal polls, that was again the outsider factor. Do you think that is going to affect? That's going to find some sort of a resonance here?
See, अमित शाह जी खुद गुजरात से हैं. क्या हम कह सकते हैं कि देश के गृह मंत्री आउटसाइडर हैं? Absurd, unconstitutional and mindless narrative. Today, every single candidate of ours is a voter of Goa. Is Mamata Banerjee a candidate here? Is Sushmita Dev a candidate here? Is Abhishek Banerjee a candidate here? No. It is Mr. Churchill, it's Valanka, it's, Mariano, it's Sandeep. Who are these people? They are Goans. Amit Shah is an intelligent man. He should not make unintelligent statements.
So, what happens now on the poll arithmetic? Because the reason why I'm asking you this question is that we've seen some sort of a tussle between the Trinamool Congress and the Congress Party. Congress Party has not even got back to the Trinamool Congress of the the olive branch that was handed out. And some would say that this is going to have an impact. Do you believe that yes, let's be very frank on this, at the end of the day, to fight the Bharatiya Janata Party, every opinion poll, Sushmita Ji, what has happened is that it has shown that if there is no strong alliance of the opposition, it always benefits the Bharatiya Janata Party.
See, one difference is every survey, every scientific survey told us that people of Goa do not want the Bharatiya Janata Party, just like they didn't want the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2017. In fact, their position has become worse. Now the question is, what's the alternative? There was a massive trust deficit given the fact that despite a mandate of 17 MLAs and the support of a total of 21 MLAs, the Congress couldn't even send their letter to the governor. So people were very skeptical of the Congress. They don't have the conviction or the mettle to do it. That's when Trinamool Congress came here. Now you're talking about, is it going to get scattered because of Trinamool Congress? See, I'll give you a very interesting and important output. That the elections of Goa are very candidate-centric. It's almost like a municipal election. It's small constituencies. People have faith in their candidates. They're all neighbors. Most of them are related. So we have selected our candidates very carefully. They are our asset, and I think the vote will be a very tactical one. Wherever a candidate has credibility and good face and a good image, they will go through, and it's for the party to back them in every way, and that's what we are doing.
I'm not looking for a neta kind of an answer, Sushmita Ji, as far as alliances are concerned. At the end of the day, what I understand, your biggest enemy is still the Bharatiya Janata Party. You do not want them to come to power. So wouldn't that automatically mean that at some point in time, if there is a scenario of hung assembly, Trinamool Congress will at least once again make an attempt to reach out to the Congress Party, at least, in the interest of opposition unity? Don't you think that there could be a slim possibility of bringing everyone together, even the Aam Aadmi Party?
See, it's very simple. This is the most frequently asked question to the TMC, and I wonder why. Because there are other parties in the
largely seen that Trinamool Congress is now becoming the big opposition face. That's why it's inevitable that you will be facing this question.
Thank you for acknowledging that, but I'll tell you something. On the 10th of March, as the results come out, that's when everybody will have to reposition themselves. Now is not the time to say who's going to tie up with who, because
we're not going to shut the doors, right?
See, it's very simple. Mamata Banerjee, when she came on the first time to Goa in the month of October, clearly said that our fight is with the BJP, and I think that says it all. That says it all, and no one can accuse us of being arrogant because we did approach the Congress. So now if Congress feels they don't need anybody and they can go alone and do it on their own, as Rahul Gandhi ji today said in a press meet, good luck to them. Let's see what happens.
Aam Aadmi Party, in an interview to Republic TV a short while back, said that there is a tacit understanding between the Congress Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the understanding is like this, that you fight on the ticket of the Congress Party, you win the elections, and then switch over to the BJP. Now that's a huge allegation. You've been on the ground, and that's what we have seen also. That's what we have seen. That is the reason why this pledge and loyalty test and all of that is happening. Do you really believe that that's a slim possibility that Bharatiya Janata Party is looking at perhaps a situation where they're not going to get enough seats? So let's try and work out some sort of an understanding with the Congress Party.
See, the allegation that Congress can't hold on to its flock is not an allegation. It's a reality of the Congress Party, not just in Goa, but in many other states. Because people don't see a future in their party even after winning. And where a party after winning 17 MLAs can't take a simple letter to the governor, what does it say to you about the leadership? So I'm sorry, it's a real fear that Congress will break into bits and they can't take on the juggernaut of Amit Shah and Narendra Modi ji. It's been proved again and again in every election, state after state, and that's the trust deficit with the Congress. Whereas Trinamool Congress and its leaders have proved that they can hold on to their flock, they can fight it out.
You believe, as a former congresswoman, that the party, your former party, does not have the stomach to win an election?
It's a matter of record. It doesn't matter what I say. Open the website of Election Commission of India. They lost the government in Arunachal. They lost the government in Manipur through defections. They lost the government in Goa through defections. So it's not for me to comment. The writing is on the wall, and I wish them well. I hope it changes, but I doubt it.
You know what, Sushmita, what's also happening as we speak? Another big controversy that's hit your party. Amit Malviya has tweeted saying that the West Bengal government is going to collapse. Why? Because there is a divide that has emerged right now. IPAC and Trinamool Congress they are not on the same page, and the fact that there is a fight between the old guard and the new guard. It's a very important issue because at the end of the day, Sushmita, this is going to be picked up by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Even state after state, they're going to go and tell this that Trinamool Congress is not going to sustain. There is a fight. Is there a fight? Internal fight?
First of all, Amit Malviya is a loose cannon, and his only job is to tweet, frankly speaking. And I have also seen some news, but I believe most of it is concocted and is planted. Basically, Mamata Banerjee and All India Trinamool Congress is growing stronger. She's spreading her wings. Entire BJP is decimating and falling apart in Bengal. And that's what the BJP can't swallow. And frankly, BJP should be worrying about Uttar Pradesh, which they are losing. We have absolutely no problem in Bengal. I'm not surprised that the BJP...
No internal fight, you are. So you're making it very clear. There is no internal fight within the Trinamool Congress, no old guard versus new guard, the kind of narrative that is now doing the rounds, and it's becoming a big story.
Yes, it's nothing but a story, and that's all I'll say.
Okay, now coming to one more issue, the one final question that I want to take with you is an all-important meeting that's going to take place tomorrow in Kolkata. We are being given to understand Mamata Banerjee is going to be there. This one man, one position kind of this entire talk that is brewing. How do you look at it?
It's very simple. I'm very new in the party. So when this resolution was passed, what were the circumstances and what was discussed, I don't know. But I think every party has the right to discuss what is the internal and external policy they are going to, follow. And if the chairperson of the party is calling leaders for a discussion, I think it's the most democratic thing to do. So I don't think there's any need to speculate anything. And if I know Mamata Di, she's a very practical person, she's a rooted person, and I believe she'll do whatever's in the greater interest of the party.
So this narrative that has been spread by what the Trinamool Congress is now saying, that it's a BJP narrative, that there's a fight between Abhishek Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee. You think this is a propaganda?
It's a silly propaganda. BJP is in shambles in Bengal. They're literally running for their life and begging Mamata Di to take them into Trinamool Congress. And this is their way of trying to change the narrative, which the BJP is very good at, but it will not work.
One final question, Sushmita Di, as I end this interview. Everyone talks about numbers in the elections. Bharatiya Janata Party always says, "Hum itne seat jeetenge." Will Sushmita Di, you've been on the ground. Will you say how many seats are you going to get this time in the polls in Goa?
So hopefully with the blessings of the people of Goa and the response I've seen in barely 4 to 5 months, I think I don't mean to sound overconfident, but I'm expecting double digits. That's between us and our alliance partners together.
It's always a pleasure to have a Neta to be so very candid, take all the questions. I'm not going to take much time because I also have to do a short interview with Sushmita Di for our sister network. That was Sushmita Di on the ground, campaigning for the Trinamool Congress, very confident, also not really opening her cards as for what will happen if there is a hung assembly in Goa.